Hello everyone, it's Clara. Today, I'd like to talk about rumination. Have you ever found yourself stuck in a cycle of overthinking? Rumination is also called looping thoughts or self reflection. It's when you keep going over the same thing again and again, getting more and more caught up in it. Maybe you clicked on this video because you're struggling with it. Honestly, even a VTuber named Clara deals with this kind of thing. Now, I wish I could give the ultimate cure for rumination, but it's impossible. Instead, as someone who tends to overthink a lot, I'd like to share a few things I've recently realized. Today's theme is divided into three parts. Is rumination really a bad thing? Do you remember what others said? And is writing things down helpful? Alright, first up, is rumination a bad thing? Let's take a moment to think about whether overthinking itself is inherently negative. Personally, I don't really believe rumination is completely bad, or at least I try not to think of it that way. Because if I see it as bad, I end up feeling even worse about myself for overthinking. And it just leads to an endless negative spiral. In some cases, overthinking might have even helped me avoid trouble. So I don't really think it's always a bad thing. But of course, getting stuck in those thoughts can be really painful. So when it happens, instead of forcing myself to stop, just acknowledge right now my mental state isn't great for overthinking. That way, I don't end up blaming myself for it. Next, let's talk about, do you remember what others said? You've probably heard this before. People don't pay as much attention to you as you think. For example, try this. Do you remember the exact conversations you had yesterday? Or even if you can remember, did you actually think about them today? Probably not. You were too busy with other things, your own worries like that. And when I really thought about it, I realized that rumination is completely self directed. It starts with thoughts like, did I hurt them? Was that rude for them? But in the end, it turns into self criticism like, I hate that I said that. That's why reminding yourself that most people won't even remember what you said can be really helpful. And finally, is writing down helpful? A common piece of advice is to write down your worries. But for a long time, I was skeptical about this. Because let's be real, writing them down doesn't make them disappear. Still, after trying it myself, I realized something interesting. First, writing things down helps reveal cognitive distortions. When we overthink, we get stuck in extreme thoughts shaped by our personality, like sudden assuming they probably hate me now, or it's all over, or like that. But when I write those thoughts out, we can see how extreme they sound. And the second and most important part for me is self esteem. This is about recognizing, hey, I noticed my rumination and I did something about it. Actually, in the end, it doesn't have to be journaling. It could be eating your favorite snack, or taking a long bath, or getting a good night's sleep. But boosting your confidence just by sleeping, that's kind of tricky. But writing things down is easy, it has no downsides, and helps me feel like I did something. Even if I still feel a bit stuck, I can tell myself, well, at least I wrote it down. And that sense of closure makes a difference. So now, whenever I start overthinking, I try to write down my thoughts, even just a little. Alright, so today I shared some of my thoughts on rumination. I want this channel could be a place where we can talk about mental health together and sometimes just feel down together. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!